It's Mezcal Monday, and today we're going to be taking a look at and doing a tasting review of Mezcal Cráneo right here on the Tequila Hombre. Coming up next. Hello and welcome to this episode of the Tequila Hombre, where today we're going to be taking a look at and doing a tasting review of Mezcal Cráneo on Mezcal Monday. But before we get into that, I want to tell you, I got some announcements for you guys. Make sure you check out the happy hour with the Hombre on Wednesday this week at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. My very special guest is going to be Carlos Camarena and his daughter Fanny. It's going to be fantastic. There's going to be lots of great information, and so I hope you guys will join me again at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time right here on the Tequila Hombre channel for the happy hour with the Hombre live feed. Later tonight, you can join me for the Q&A with the Hombre, where I answer your questions live as well as address comments, and we just kind of enjoy ourselves sipping some really nice tequila or mezcal and talking, and I make myself available to answer questions live for you. It's been a lot of fun, the episodes that we've done so far, so I hope you'll join me tonight. And that's tonight at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It'll be fantastic. All right, so let's not waste any more time. Let's get into our review of Mezcal Cráneo. All right, so now let's get into the review of Mezcal Cráneo. Just so you know, and to be completely transparent, this bottle was provided to me by the brand for an unbiased, honest review, and that's exactly what they're going to get. All right, so this brand is created by David Rivandi, who's also the creator and owner of Tequila 123, which I've reviewed their Blanco, their Repo, and their Añejo so far. And what he basically told me is that when he created this mezcal, he wanted to create something that was satisfying and agreeable to the beginning mezcal drinker, as well as to satisfy the palate of the expert mezcal drinker. So he said this was kind of a selfish endeavor for him, because he wanted something that was more pleasing to his palate, and he focused on that, and he believed that, beginners would like it as well, because he doesn't like the overly smoky, overly solventy mezcals that people have been given to him in the past to try. And he wanted to create something that was really just pleasant and enjoyable to sip. So we'll see if he hit those goals as far as I'm concerned. So let's not waste any more time, though. Let's get into how this mezcal is made. All right, a Mezcal Cráneo is made in a palenque in the area of Santiago Matatlan. It's in the state of Oaxaca. The mezcalero is actually David Rivandi, but he actually teamed up with some of the local mezcaleros there at the palenque that they put together for this to make this mezcal. They use espadín, which is organically certified. Now, this espadín is grown at the altitude of 5,600 feet, and they let it come to full maturity before they harvest it to use for this mezcal. After the mezcal are harvested, they're then cooked in an earthen pit for several days. Once they're done being cooked, they then crush it with a large tahona wheel, which is drawn by a donkey. After they're done with the crushing, it is then fermented in wooden vats using wild yeast that's located in the area. When fermentation is complete, they then 2 times distill it using copper alembic stills. And then once it is done with distillation, it is then bottled at 42% alcohol by volume. The lowest price you'll be able to find this for is $42.99. All right, well, there's how this mezcal is made. Let's get into the tasting portion and see what this mezcal is all about. All right, going up top to our pour cam, of course, I am using my favorite Denver and Liley agave glass. Love this glass. It's great for mezcals as well as for tequilas. You don't need to switch glasses when you're going high proof as well. One glass and it covers it all and does a fantastic job. Love these glasses. If you're interested in finding out more about them, I'll put a link to where you can purchase them in the description so you can find them for yourself. I love it. It's great. And I don't get paid any affiliate money or anything like that. It's just a link to their website. So if you want to look up Denver and Liley yourself and get it, then so be it. It doesn't matter to me. All right, so we'll go ahead and pour some into the glass and take a look at it and see what this thing's all about. So there we go. The glass has been poured. Let's go up top and take a look at it in the glass and see what this mezcal is all about. All right, we're back up top now. Let's take a look at this mezcal in the glass. Coats the glass nicely. I don't even see the tears and stuff. There they go. They're just now starting. So it's going to have a nice viscous mouthfeel to it, which is nice. We want that creamy, buttery mouthfeel to it. Looking at the mezcal itself, it is crystal clear. Looks fantastic. It is a Joven, of course, so you wouldn't expect it to have anything else in it. All right, so let's see what we get on the nose. Remember, we're looking for something that's going to be low in smoke. We're looking for something that's going to be pleasing to the beginner palate as well as to the expert or more experienced mezcal drinkers palate. So let's see if we hit those notes on this. So let's see what we get on the nose. So on the nose, I am picking up a little bit of smoke coming through, just a little bit. But it blends nicely with a nice fruitiness to it, which kind of gives it a bittersweet chocolate kind of smell when you're smelling it. It's a nice sweetness, like agave sweetness in there, as well as a fruitiness, like a sweet fruitiness blended with the smoke. And so it kind of gives it kind of like a bitter sweet chocolate nose to it, which isn't bad at all. It smells good. All right, so let's see what we get on the flavor profile. Coats the mouth beautifully. Picking up a nice fruitiness, like citrus coming through on it. A hint of anise in it as well. And that's about it. There's not a whole lot to this, but it's very easy to drink and enjoyable. So I do think a beginner would enjoy this, but let's see if we can pick up anything else on this. Just a hint of smoke. It does have a nice sweetness to it, like hints of cinnamon in there, fruitiness in there, like definitely some citrus coming through. Just a hint of like black licorice bitterness in there, like anise. And then finishes with a nice sweetness on the tongue. Yeah, so if you're somebody that says, hey, I want to kind of experience what mezcal is all about, this would be a nice choice. There's not a whole lot to it. It's very light on the flavor profile. It's not overbearing at all. This would be really good for somebody that's looking to transition from tequila into mezcal. Now, is this something that, a mezcal lover is going to enjoy and say, yeah, it's complex and stuff? Absolutely not. There's not a whole lot to it. But there's enough to it to say, okay, this is a nice sipper, especially if you don't want something that's just going to destroy your palate like some of these mezcals can do, with just abundance of different flavors and craziness that you can find in some of them. Instead, it's very light, very refreshing, something you can sip on a warm day and enjoy yourself. So yeah, actually, I mean, it hit exactly what he was looking to hit. As far as how I would rate this, it's nothing really special or great, but it's not bad. So I would give it 3 agave for being good. And as far as a beginner mezcal would go, if I was to rate it as a beginner mezcal, I would give this one a strong 4 agave for that. So if you're a beginner looking to transition from tequila into mezcal, this is a very nice choice for you. Get your feet wet with mezcal and kind of understand what the flavor profile is like a little bit without getting too crazy and without getting overly smoky as well. But if you're an experienced mezcal drinker, I think you're going to try this and say, it's okay. So there you go. If you've tried Mezcal Cráneo, I'd love to hear your thoughts about it. As somebody that might be drinking tequila, thinking about going into mezcal, what do you think? Would you give it a try? I'd love to hear your opinions. So comment below, let me know. Don't forget to give me a like for the information I shared. And more importantly, don't forget to subscribe because we have lots of great videos coming up, including the live feed on Wednesday with Carlos Camarena. It's going to be fantastic. So make sure you click the subscribe button. And until next time, like I always say, life is too short to drink bad mezcal. Salud.